this head.
No, not my beautiful head.
Welcome to Sunny's Toys with your hosts, Sunny and Lola.
Hey guys, it's Lola here, and I just want to give you a quick update before I introduce you to today's video. Our little bunny Bree is doing much better. She is out of surgery and she's currently camped out in her cage on my floor so that I can keep a close eye on her. So thank you for all the prayers and well wishes. And today is a video, and shout out to you, Carrie, for requesting this like many moons ago. I don't even remember what, oops, dropped this, when it was. It's been a couple, like several videos ago. She requested to see how to do a head swap with a Ken. And I thought it was perfect timing because a lot of you guys recommended on the Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor video that I do a head swap. And so today, Mr. Steve Trevor, or Chris Pine, is going to get a new body. And this is from a Mockingjay, or one of the Hunger Games versions of PETA, which we ended up not using because we have another version of him. And so it's the same body. Oh, he just lost a shoe. It's the same body type as some of the collector. Sorry, he's lost his shoe, so I'm trying to put that as I'm talking. It's the same body type as a lot of the like collector dolls and the Texas A&M Ken. So it's the same body type. He has full articulation in his shoulders, his elbows, his wrists, his knees, his hips, and his ankles. So that's super awesome, and I can't wait to get Steve or Chris Pine on this body. But the reason why we are head swapping him is, as you can see, he has these molded plastic legs. And so we're going to do that, and I'm going to tell you what you need and also how to do that. Okay, so first things first, what you need is, I'm going to pan down just a tiny bit so you guys can see better. First things first, what you need is you'll need a microwave safe mug or bowl. I tend to prefer a mug because it's a little bit easier to balance them in, and it's microwave safe so I can use it in the microwave. You'll need water, which will become hot, and a plastic baggie. And I've used the same one. It doesn't usually, unless you get it way too hot, it shouldn't melt the plastic bag or anything. This is just a sandwich size bag, and I've crinkled it because I've used it at least 3 or 4 times before for head swaps. And then the last thing I have is, I don't normally have to use this, but you may want, and this is where I say do this at your own risk because it can be difficult depending on the Ken doll. This tutorial is directed at the newer Ken dolls, but you can use, I've used tweezers, and I've also used just a little, very dull screwdriver, and you may or may not need it. But first steps, which I've already done, is to fill the cup up 3/4 the way with water. And I don't know if you guys can see the steam, but you're going to put it in the microwave for 2 minutes. And I find that's the best time for these. If I was doing a boil wash, I probably would do a little bit less, but I find that for head swaps, around 1.5 minutes or 2 minutes, depending on your microwave, usually works. And so the next step we're going to do is we're going to take his clothes off. And that sounds super creepy now that I think about it. But we're going to go ahead and take, he only has a shirt, like a, not a molded on shirt, but a, in like the, it's one piece, I guess is a better word. So we're going to take that off. I'm sorry for the guy doll nudity here, but we're going to go ahead and take that off for our next step. And the next step is to take the plastic bag without touching the water in it because it's very hot, and make sure that you get parents' permission or you have someone, an adult or a guardian supervising this because it can be a little, it can burn you. So please be careful. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the doll and you're going to see his head's already a little bit squishy, so I don't think that it'll take too much to make it a little bit softer. What you're going to do is you're going to take the plastic bag, and I'm going to pan down just a little bit so you guys can see, and you're going to stick his head as far as you can in the water in the plastic bag. So you may have to fill it up with a little more water for these Ken dolls because he has kind of big shoulders, so he doesn't want to fit down. But then you're going to just kind of let him sit, and I usually do it for a minute or less depending on the head is kind of hard. Okay, so he's been in here for about 30 seconds to a minute. And his head, and also be careful when you take the bag out because it is still hot usually. So I'm gonna put it to the side, and you may also need a towel, so make sure you do this where it's okay if you get things wet or you have a towel. And so as you can see, his head is a little more pliable. And so I don't wanna rip it off. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. But I don't wanna just rip it off. So you wanna be gentle, especially if you wanna save the body. What I'm going to do is basically kind of gently just tug on it and kind of pull just a little bit. You don't want to, see, that one came off very easily, but you don't want to damage the peg if you are even remotely thinking about putting it back on that body, which most of the time if you're switching them to an articulated body, you probably wouldn't go back, but just in case you decide to use it, you don't want to damage it. So you can see the plastic is a little bit stressed, but should be okay. So here's his head while it's still hot. So it shouldn't be burning hot. It should be kind of just lukewarm, and his head should be kind of pliable. And you don't want to be like, whoop, and squeeze his head to death. But it should be just a little bit pliable. So you should be able to kind of move it and adjust it as you need it. And so I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up, and then we will move on to the next step, which I will show you, where he is going to get his new body. Woo! Okay, so while his head is still a little pliable, you're going to take it, and I like to flip the head around to my dominant hand. So I'm left-handed, so I would hold it with my left hand, and then what you're going to do is you are going to push just real gently until you hear kind of a little bit of a pop. So what it's basically doing is, you can see, is it's popping his head onto the head peg. And so that's really all. I mean, it doesn't take like a ton, and I think he looks, it's not an exact match, the skin tone, but I think he looks pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pan up and show you the final result. Okay guys, so that went really well. I'm gonna go ahead and pan down real quick and show you kind of the final result of what he looks like. I know it's just a basic articulated Ken body, but like, it's such a step above this. Like, where his pants are molded on, and you can't change his shoes out, and you have like, I don't know, this is just, compared to this, where he looks like a normal human being, this is like kind of a strange Ken body. But anyway, I'm really happy with the way that he turned out. A couple of little things, make sure that you have parents' permission or have an adult or guardian, someone there to help you if you need it, because the scalding water can burn you, and it's not super hot, but it can get really hot. So please be careful with that. Do this at your own risk. Know that not every Ken doll is the same, will come off as easy, so you may have to use something to help you get his head off. And also, just have fun with it. That's part of the thing about having custom dolls, is like having fun with it, being really creative. But I'm really happy with the way he turned out. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button below or in this top corner at the end of the video to stay tuned for more awesome videos coming really soon. And in the comments below, tell me, do you think that my experiment was a success? And also, let me know if there are any other doll style tutorials or things that you want us to talk about or see. So leave me those things in the comments below. So that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Bye!